And we're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to Seymour for being the first one. And Seymour, big up yourself. Thank you for being the first one in this morning. Shout out to Faith Shepherd, Sharon Ingram, Brickhouse is in the building. King Biggs is in the building this morning. King Biggs says, New York, New York, up, up, up. Jet Shelley, thank you for being here this morning. Hope all is well. Perlis 123, big up yourself. Audrey Wright, Wayne Nathan, Marcia Walters, thank you for being here. Brahmo Wright's in the building this morning. Upness, Darlene Walter Riley. Let me see. Rasta Caribbean is in the building. Roxy 21 is in the building this morning. Sharon Spence, Senior Sexy is in the building. BM, Asserin Odetta, Nikki B, Janet Stewart, Karen Notice, Jennifer Spencer Richards. Danya Casada is in the building. Miss Goldie Robinson. Miss Goldie Robinson, I appreciate you so much. Miss Goldie Robinson is pretty much on everything that I do, but Miss Goldie Robinson does not have her name in green. You know what? I think I accidentally left the room open this morning, left the chat room open this morning. So you're about to see pretty much anybody in a rush to try to get here because it's getting late. And this is the latest I ever started a morning thoughts, but it's all good. Most people already moved on for the day and probably feel like SouFLoTV ain't coming on today either. So they're on to something else as well. But that's all good, right? They'll watch it later. Real G, big up yourself. Donna Davis, thank you for being here. Crystal G, Ella A, morning, morning to you too, darling. Debbie Jervis, Kaz Robinson, big up yourself. Prince Walker, thank you for being here. Donna Mitchell, thank you for being here this morning. Fallon Carrington, shalom. Thank you for being here. Adjustable International, Dorothy T, Sarah Cayente, Lady J. The names go on and on and on. We got a few topics that we're going to talk about this morning. How y'all feel about that verdict for? It's not on my topic for this morning. I already did the video to it. But how y'all feel about the verdict for Cardi B versus the vlogger Tasha K? Tasha K, Cardi B took Tasha K to court. Remember when this happened, I said the precedence is going to be set. Famous people are now going to be able to take vloggers and bloggers to court and sue for defamation of character because some of them were getting out of control. You know, people just thought that you grab a camera, as I was explaining to you yesterday. A lot of people think, oh, all I need is a good camera. So you grab a camera and you get out here and you just put up your camera and you just say what you want to say about people. I don't know why my lens fogged up just now, but it doesn't go like that. You don't just grab a camera and come out here and just say any old slanderous, derogatory thing about somebody, especially when it affects their brand and their income. Wrong move. So for those of y'all who don't know, Cardi B is, if some of y'all are really living under a rock, you know, so we have to pull you out. So Cardi B is a famous female rapper, right? She did that song most notably in recent times was WAP, WAP. It stands for wet. Somebody explain to them what the WAP is. Some of y'all don't have a WAP anymore. Some of you have a perfect, good working WAP. I don't know. Anyhow, she took a famous vlogger. She has over 1 million subscribers. So she took her to court and she won to the tune of $4.25 million. The precedence is set. Tasha K says, don't ask me for no money. I ain't got no money. And I'm taking this to court. We have measures in place to protect us with things like these. The girl kept telling her, leave my name out your mouth or stop talking about me, cease and desist. She kept going. Y'all can't tell us what to do. Y'all got lawyers. We got lawyers too. This is how your audience is. Some of them will put a battery in your back and keep you going like that Duracell bunny until you get hit with a $4.25 million judgment. That's US dollars. I know Jamaican dollars we are talking about, right? And I said it before. Once the judge says SouFLoTV has to pay $100,000 to this person or that person, guess what? It's a judgment by a judge in a court of law. You're going to have to come up with that money unless you can take it to a higher court and get it thrown out. So she tried to take it to appeal. The appeal court shot it down. It stands. Where does that leave Cardi B now? Now Cardi B has the right, it says it in writing, to use the sheriff as well as her lawyers to go after Tasha K's assets. Assets can be seized, wages can be garnished, all that other stuff. So now she is in the book. And Tasha K came out yesterday, I believe, and said, I saw a writing. I didn't hear her say it. You got to be careful, right? Because sometimes people get sued and they're looking for somebody else to sue to pay for the suit that they got sued. So I'll make sure I say all the things right. So she actually said, yes, the appeal was denied. So she said, Cardi B, I apologize. I'm sorry. I seen somebody in the comment section yesterday said, yeah, you a little bit too late and like $4 million short. You know when they used to say you a day late and a dollar short? She's a little bit too late and like $4 million short. And and Cardi B is not playing. She is going for that money. The things that were said about her, how she used to wind down low upon the bottles them and push them up in her woo woo. You know, they woo push them up in her wop. And she was doing prostitution, selling the cooch, and she just said a whole bunch of stuff about the girl that, if you get, you got to be brave. You got to. And I'm gonna tell you why you got to be brave. You got to be brave because the great Tupac Shakur says, "Do not go to war unless you got your money right." I got my money right. Now I want war. My money ain't right, so I don't want no war with nobody, right? But that should have been a warning. You can't go to war with people that have a large net worth, a large amount of financial reserve. They will take you through the ringers for the fun of it. That's small money to Cardi B. Cardi B commands $1 million for a performance outside of the United States of America. $1 million US. She do 4 shows out of the US, and that's her 4 mil right there. You're going to have to now go figure out how to get this money to pay this. And the judge ordered that she either A, immediately pay up all the money in cash, or B, take out a bond that covers the entire amount. Because Cardi B's lawyer says, Judge, all this time she's using to stall to do this appeal stuff, I think what she's actually doing is she is stalling us so she can hide this money. She is stalling us so she can hide her assets and her resources. And remember, she went to Africa, right? And I remember, I think she said after all this money, like I deposited 900 and something $1,000 in this bank in Africa, and this is the car they sent me. Like after putting so much money in the bank, they should have sent her a luxury car, and she thought she was gonna get better treated. So was she hiding assets overseas in Africa because she knew that this judgment was coming? I don't know. She was insulating herself. She was making sure she had something left. Emptied out her bank account. They actually looked and they told us that it was like a couple of $100 left in the bank account, which she gave away to one of her subscribers on one of the call-ins or whatever. So she emptied out her assets already, moved it. You could pretty much say she's owned by Cardi B now, though, because whatever money she is making from all this stuff that she does on her platform, that check will now be probably going to Cardi B's pocket, and then they will give her. You know how they do child support, right? For y'all men out there who are on child support, not a mutual agreement between you and the baby mama, but you are on child support as forced by the government child support. Yeah, the government takes your check. You work for Wells Fargo, you bust your ass 40, 80 hours a week. The government takes that check from Wells Fargo, sits it on their desk. They take out the amount that baby mama is supposed to get and sends it to her. And then they take their cut, taxes, and then they send you whatever is left of your check every time you get paid. That's how child support that's how child support goes, right? In the US. Anyhow, that's how Cardi B and Tasha K is gonna be living from now on. You understand? She's gonna be in her pockets, bruh. I would have said I'm sorry a long time ago. I would have said I'm sorry a long, long time ago. And you know what? That's a principle. that I have over here. If somebody ever says, SouFlo, this is so and so. The video you did of me, I hate it. It's disrespectful. Like a brother called from England that I was trying to help. I was trying to help this brother because his story says he's getting deported back to Jamaica. He hasn't been there since he was small. His brother, his older brother, died after serving in the military in the UK, all kind of stuff. They were living rough and all this. So I'm trying to save this brother and get some people to line up in solidarity. That brother called me and he said, listen, man, take my stuff down. I said, look, I could point to you about 5 or 6 big name news entities in the UK that already covered your story. So it's a public thing. And you want me to take it down. I guess you have strength for little old me, right? I was trying to help you. You didn't hear me say anything bad about you. You know what he said? He said, SouFlo, we watch you over here and I understand what you're trying to do. No, you didn't say anything bad about me. Watch this. He says, no, you didn't say anything bad about me, but your comment section is lit up with all. He used the word gaslighting. A lot of people that use the word gaslighting don't even know what gaslighting means. Just like a lot of people who use the word narcissistic, they don't even know what it means. And a lot of the times they're the ones that are narcissistic. But anyhow, neither here nor there. I go off track. He said, I checked your comment section, and a lot of the comments are not in my favor. And you got to understand that these people are going to be looking at it. I said, why would they look at little old SouFLoTV? They have the Mirror. Is it the Mirror it's called in the UK? They have the Post. They have the Guardian. They have all these other news entities. And he goes, yes, but the community, the Caribbean community ain't tuned in to no Post and no Guardian and no, they're tuned into stuff like what you do. So they're gonna see my face all over that thing and they're gonna leave their funny comments. I didn't do nothing to nobody, and I didn't want to be looked at as, you know, the way how your audience is trying to portray me without even knowing me. And you know what I did? I took it down. I said, hey, I wish you nothing but the best. I apologize. I was trying to help you out. But since you see it as offensive, I'm taking it down. And I took the whole video down. And the video had lots of views. And like less than a half a day, the video was already like 50 something K and going up, right? I took it down. He was heard about it. I took it down. There was another guy in Jamaica who got deported and he was in the US military. And I found his picture and I did a story on him. His people called me. Well, I think his mom, I believe, called, his sister called first, or a girlfriend or a wife, whoever. And they were real mannerable. You know, SouFlo, we don't even want them in Jamaica to know that he's there on the island. He's been deported since the last 2 years, and we haven't even made him go. We haven't even let him go back to the community where he comes from yet, right? So nobody knows, but you know they watch your stuff. So if you put him out there like that, it could be he could be in danger as well as blah blah blah. Before I could get it, and I reasoned with the lady, and I said, you know what, I'm taking it down. Again, I was trying to help because you know I'm a service member myself, or ex-military, or whatever you want to call it, and I didn't see why they deported him. I didn't think it was fair, and I was trying to shed some light on his story. And she goes, yes, I appreciate that, but he's still there and he's still fighting. So please, at least take his face out. I tried to blur his face out to keep the video. It wasn't working. He was still showing up in shots. So I just took the whole video down. But before I could take the video down, I think it was his mom or somebody that called. Somebody that called and send me up under my mother. I was like, take down that blood clot, you idiot, you bum, this your ass. That I was like, lady, listen, listen, listen. I already spoke to your people. They already called. I already agreed to take it down. Oh, oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. Cause I said it's all right, mommy. It's all right. We're good. We're good. That's my MO. That's how I do. You got issues with it? I'm taking it down. When you see me in the streets, don't say nothing to me about no drama. It should be, hey, SouFlo, what's up? Yo, I like the show, man. Blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't be about, yo, how you demonize my mom like that? Yo, why you paint that picture of my father? And it's all lies. You can't be out here telling lies on people. The world is small. The world is small and it catches up to you. And some people got deep pockets, and they got lawyers out here that will make you pay, right? So I take it down. Once you say it's offensive, take it down. On the flip side, I've had people who called me to thank me because, like the Winnipeg couple out of Canada who went to Jamaica, retired, got their little dream home and was doing okay there in Jamaica, looking forward to better years of their life, other half of their life, and they were killed in Jamaica. When I covered their story, and I covered it extensively on about 3, 4 different videos, their children called me to tell me thank you for the way it was done, the way it was portrayed, fair, balanced, open. And, so I got a lot of people that called to say thank you, shedding some light on my sister's passing, shedding some light on my brother's passing, and even some of them that have family members that are guilty, that I do say harsh stuff about, they say thank you. So hey, like the brother who was a genius. He was very smart, had how many subjects. And I think the video is called He Went from Scholar to Cop Killer. And now he's doing probably life in prison for killing a police officer when he could have been something, extraordinary. His family members, thank you. They respect it. So I'm not up here trying to disrespect nobody. And I encourage others who are trying to do this right here to understand that this right here, once your face starts to show this, the world is out there for you and you're going to be running into people. You don't want to be running through the airport trying to catch that late flight and somebody break your jaw. Or you feel a Coca-Cola bottle slap you in the back of your head or something. I'm not trying to sow no bad karma out here, man. But yeah, shout out to Tasha K. You live and you learn, and I'm sure she won't do it again. You take a licking and you keep on ticking. That's what I say. Sometimes you got to learn. Some people got to learn the hard way. Me, I would have said, I'm sorry, take it down from the beginning, just the fact of who it was. And I know how much money they got. And I know people with money, if they want to get sadistic on you, they have the resources to do so. I don't want nobody own my channel. I told y'all yesterday how hard I worked to even get this channel up and running. I told you how much work I put in, how many sleepless nights. Still, how much work I put in to this day, just researching so I know what I'm talking about. So I'm not just out here saying any old thing. And then for somebody to come own this while I'm working and they taking my money and paying it to somebody else, no, I couldn't do that. So yeah, sometimes it's best to just say I apologize. Now, with that said, let's close off that segment by saying something we always say here. When you say something and somebody tells you you offended me, it's not what you need to be offended for. I don't see nothing in that offensive. I apologize. I wasn't trying to offend you. That wasn't my intent. And keep it pushing. That's it. She should have definitely apologized from day one, says Nicola Coleman. Yeah, she learned her lesson now, man. Tasha is making light of it, though. She's going to have to go through it. She even made a meme of herself in a McDonald's uniform. Like she got to go get a second job kind of thing. She made a meme with herself wearing a McDonald's uniform. And I also saw another article where it says she is downsizing, like moved out of her big, gorgeous house into a little apartment and rented the house out. I don't know how true it is, but she's going to have to find a way to pay that money back. The judge doesn't say pay this much and you just walk away and say, whatever, sue me. That's not how it works. Once the judgment is set and it's upheld, they're squeezed. You ever squeeze a lemon or squeeze orange and you try to get, that's how they're going to be squeezing her, try to get every penny out of her. The only person that could stop that, have some mercy on her, is Cardi B. Cardi B could make it go away. Cardi B could say, you see what I was saying, sis? You see what I was saying? Now, look at you. I want my money. She could either go, I want my money, I'm still teaching you a lesson, or she could go, I accept your apology and the 4 mil is nothing to me. So just learn your lesson and stop doing what you were doing before and go her way. That would be big of Cardi B to do, but I don't see it happening. It's $4 million. It's $4 million, right? Talati Blake says, can they garnish her YouTube checks? Hell yeah. That's what they're going to be doing. Whatever assets she has, not just her YouTube checks, wherever else she get a check from. If they can find it, they can take it. Wherever else you get a check from, whatever. Matter of fact, if your checks are not enough, if you got cars, say for instance, right, you've been making some money, you bought yourself a nice little, a nice little BMW X5 or something you could pull up to these events that you host, and so you want to feel like you're somebody. You ain't splurging too much, but you drive something nice. You pull up, they could take that too. They can take your cars, they can take your homes, they can take a piece of land if you own that. They can take a trailer park if you own that. It's called assets. They can take your jewelry if you have valuable jewelry that costs a lot. The goal is to settle the debt. The debt at this point is $4.25 million, and they will take anything you have, liquidate those assets, and settle that debt. That's the goal. I don't know why she didn't see that coming though. They can't take the house if it's not in her name. Well, guess what? The house was in her name. The house was in her and her husband's name. Her husband is a part of her business, right? I don't like to go too far into people's business and talk stuff I don't know. So let me back out of that one. But I do believe that the house was in her name. And I do believe that it's a credible source that reported that her house is now up for rent and she is downsizing, right? They can take her wine cellar, Dainty D. Hey man, thank you, Debbie Jervis. I'm feeling a little better this morning. That's Jet Shelley. Jet Shelley is with us this morning. Raymond Coombs says it's good for you to let know what's going on. I'm not living in Jamaica. I retired. Now I bought my home and I'm planning to come enjoy my place. Now I don't think so. Raymond Combs says. Raymond, let me ask you a quick question real quick before we go on to the Tekashi 6ix9ine beating in the LA Fitness bathroom. I don't know if y'all saw that. Takashi got they beat the brakes off of him. But loose my money, honey. Darren Darren Brennan. Hey yo, Darren, you a true 305 boy. Loose my money, honey. What was that? Poison Clan? That was Poison Clan. That's my era. I came up on the Poison Clan, Luke Skywalker, you know what I mean? Freaknik days, all that. That was a time gone by, boy. I was a baby when Freaknik and all that was going on. I was little, but I used to see the bigger boys doing it, going out to Freaknik and all them dance all night. Dun, 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 dun. I want to go to one of those parties. I want to go to a Throwback 305 party. Tekashi 6ix9ine, I don't know where in Florida it was at. I'll have to read the article. I know it was in Florida though. And I know it was at a LA Fitness. And I know they beat the brakes off of him. At first when I saw it, I thought it was fake. I thought it was fake. I wanted to ask Raymond Coombs though, where in Jamaica did he plan on living? Because he said it's good for you to let us know what's going on. And I'm not living in Jamaica. I'm retired now, but I bought my home and I'm planning to come enjoy my place. And no, I don't think so. Them 305 parties, benches, them 305 parties. Y'all know how the Miami girls dance. Some of y'all mamas and grandmamas, they were, yeah. Y'all got new words for them today. We've been saying freak. That's why they had Freak Nick. Yeah. But they done been there and done that. That's why some of y'all shouldn't look at these young people and oh my God. And you saw that scrub the ground. Scrub the ground. Scrub the ground. Hey, when you hear that come on in any 305 party, or what's the other one again? hold on. The beat goes. Mm, 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 mm. I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of them. Scrub the ground. Scrub the ground. Them girls be scrubbing the ground for real. That's Megan Thee Stallion knees before Megan was probably born. They had real Megan Thee Stallion knees. Crazy legs. Ah, Doodle Brown. That one batches. Doodle Brown. Yo, we had some days, boy. I want cinnamon toast, cinnamon says I'm giving flashbacks. I want to find a party. Seriously, I want to find a party. I'll be in Miami. I can tell y'all right now, there's a pool party coming up, Afro Beats event. The dude that called in and spoke, I also spoke to him offline. I responded to his request. He wants me to do some like he was just trying to figure out like how we would do like the promotional part of things or whatever. Because I'm trying to be there, but I'm also trying to go live, stream live from that event. That's why I gotta make sure I get up every day now and go exercise. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a pool party, so I don't want to be there in clothes. You know, like when you go to the beach and you see people in shirt and shorts and all that, and you're like, it's 99 degrees out here. If it's a pool party, I want to be there in my shorts, and that's about it. Swim trunks, and that's it. I'm jumping in the pool. Yeah, I'm over at the bar. I'm everywhere with the camera. So it's that Memorial Day weekend in Miami. And I'm just letting y'all know, God spare my life. I'll be out there for that Memorial Day weekend. I'll probably be in Miami for like a week, like that whole week. So we probably will be doing like some meetups, some meet and greet. I'm trying to organize with him to have the meet and greet at that party, right? So I mean, some of y'all need to get out and have some fun. Y'all bottled up, locked up in the house like it's still COVID time, and it's not, right? Go back to living. Go back to living. Don't hold your breath. Life is short. Have you some fun. It's okay. In the military, we had something called mandatory fun day. Mandatory fun day. That was crazy. I don't want to have fun today. Get your ass out there and have some fun. Mandatory fun day. That was usually on deployments though. Get your ass out there and have some fun. Get your goddamn ass. I don't want to go. You in the middle, they playing in Jamaica, we call it dandy shandy. You in the middle, you know when one person here, and they throwing the ball trying to hit you and you running from side to side, and you ducking. That's a hard game to play when you didn't want to do it. Oh, but I want to have some fun. Get your ass out there and have some fun. Okay, sorry. Woo. Anyhow, no more leaving the store at 8. Hell no. You are right, always on point. Like me living under a rock, LOL. Don't know what the heck is going on with them people. Juliet, come on now. You gotta you ain't old. I don't know why y'all be doing that old people stuff when you still got a whole lot of life left to live. When I'm old, I'm gonna be old. Until then, I'm hot. I'm out. I'm hot. I'm still responsible though. You know, it's just the responsibilities have grown. So I'm not loose like I would like to be, but I'm not dead. What we saying in Jamaica, we're all up, but we're not all up. We're not all up yet neither. So anyhow, Tekashi 6ix9ine, and people definitely old differently. People like think 40 is old. Yeah, man. Listen, I was saying this to myself last night. So I'm coming out of the shower and I'm thinking. I said, if you 35 and above, and you still playing with life, like you scared to live, you scared to live, you scared to travel, you care too much about what people think about you and all that at 35 and above, then you still haven't grasped what life really is about. Because scientifically proven, or should we say, yeah, scientifically proven, the average lifespan of a adult or a person is 70 to 75 years. That's about how many years you get. I don't know why a lot of people are of the mindset that 50 is when I hit the halfway point and then I have another 50 to go because I'm gonna be 100. Majority of us don't live to 100, my friend. So if you 35, you halfway there, okay? To what they say is the life expectancy on average of humans. If you 35, you halfway there. If you over 35, you pass halfway there. So, and I don't care about who want to talk about old. Like I said, the goal is to get old. The goal is to get old. You better hope you get old because I'm sure that's what everybody is praying for. Don't nobody want to die early. Everybody is out here trying to live as long as they can, but you still calling other people old. How you calling people old when you trying to live as long as you can? That means eventually you'll be old too. And it's gonna be here faster than you think, right? Yeah. So just go ahead and live. Live. You 35 and up and you still concerned about all that? I don't know what to tell you. You're not living. You're not living. See, a lot of people come here and they exist, but they don't live. They don't live. I was telling my daughter that yesterday when I picked her up from school. Naka, she's 8 years old, my little firecracker. I was telling her, all my hair about to be gray real soon because I got two girls, right? One is 2 and one is 8. My 2-year-old about to be 3 soon. My 8-year-old is about to be 9 soon. And just between the two of them alone, just the demands, and they're girls. So yeah, but I look forward to all that. But yeah, man, I was telling my daughter that yesterday. Like, you gotta live. You gotta live. You got a long way to go. She called me old every day. You just old, Dad. I said, but what do you call your grandmother? Your grandmother is my mom. What do you call her? Oh, grandma is she extra old. I'm like, yeah, you got a lot of room to talk because you're 8. I remember when I was 8, and it still feels like it was yesterday. So you'll be here soon. So you'll be here soon too. Social Security trying to pay you for 25 years, man. They not trying to pay you. Way I try say, are we I give you gray hair? Yeah, my girl them. My girl is gonna give me gray hair. My boys can't give me no gray hair. Me and my boys are different. I love them, but I get rough when need be. Like, not abusive, but I get rough when need be. But I have to internalize a lot of stuff when it's my girls. You can't grab her by her the back of her right here. I can't because it's a girl. And you gotta. I learned that as soon as my daughter was born, because I was holding. They gave her to me, right, and I was holding her, but I was doing stuff like what I would do with the boys, and she was crying her head off. "Ah! Ah!" And I'm like, and the nurse was like, no, you have to, you have to like hold her like this, daddy, and cradle her, and then it's a girl, because I have boys. I got all boys, so I learned then. And as soon as I started being like soft to her and stuff, she was all calm. So I was like, damn. And she got me since then. She got me since then. Both Nika and Milani, they have this thing about their eyes that they do, man. And it's messed up when they learn how to do it from like 2 years old. If I'm getting dressed to go somewhere, my daughter, like Milani is 2. And Milani already knows. She goes, I want to go, daddy. I want to go outside, daddy. I want to go bye-bye. And I'm like, man, I just want to go, get what I got to get. Probably even drive out by myself kind of thing. But as I'm going through the door, she goes like this and then looks down at the ground like this. It's a wrap. I'm like, babe, get her dressed for me so I could take her with me, please. Because I can't leave her and I can't say no. You know, she got me. They got me. So y'all pray for me because I got two of them girls that I think they feel like we disrespectful by calling them young. So in return, we get old. Ah, Yes, Audrey Wright, my heart just drop out, and she does it every time. And she have this little thing now where she says, "Sorry, Daddy." I said, "Milani, what are you doing? Stop that." "Sorry, Daddy." She told me the other day, and I know she got it from her sister. She goes, "Best daddy ever." She's two. She don't know nothing about no best daddy ever. But her sister says it all the time. And she heard it from her sister. Your kids, man. Your kids follow you. They imitate everything you do. I'm in this room where I work, right? So I have two computers right here. So I'm working and I have my push-up bars on the floor. So I try to keep it military still. So, it's something that we did. In the infantry, you would do push-ups like every 15 minutes, just drop. Wherever you're at, doesn't matter. And just drop. That's how you start to get your workout in. So I'm in here, I'm doing my push-ups and stuff. My son comes in here, he's 4. He comes in here, he goes, "Dad, what are you doing?" I say, "I'm getting some push-ups done." And he goes, "Oh, okay." So I sit back at the computer, right, and I'm working. Then I got up and I went back over to where they were at on that side of the house. You know what he was over there doing? Exactly what he saw me doing over here. He was in the push up position, pushing by himself. I just heard him go quiet. And I know when my kids go quiet, it's time to go look and see what it is they're getting into. If he's using an ink pen to do graffiti all over my leather couch in the living room or all over the damn white walls or whatever. But hey, so watch that too, right? Kids know that they are loved. You have to make them know they're loved. You have to put the work in, you know? I think they feel like we're disrespectful. I am my heart. All right, so on to the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing. For those of you who've been living under a rock, let me drag you. This is a very famous rapper. He started out as a troll on IG and other social media sites, like making fun of people, making fun of rappers and other famous people while he was putting out his rap music. And he actually made it famous. I don't know if you know who he is. He decided that he wanted to get sentimental sentiment says snitcher. He decided he wanted to get deeper into gang life for his street credibility because that sells records. So he joined the 9 Tray Bloodset gang and they gave him credibility. Now, this guy was out here like a federal agent on in deep cover. You know, when you infiltrate an organization and you go in and you pretend to be a member and you see all that's going on and take, he was in deep. He was making a lot of money. Day before yesterday, for the first time, I actually sat and watched 6ix9ine explain why he snitched on everybody. And I must say, I probably would have done the same. Yeah. Because, first of all, I wouldn't have been involved in any of that. Because I know there's no loyalty in it. Right. But when he explained, like, Shadi was his manager, Shadi was also his right hand, his brother, he called him. When he explained that he was out on tour and he would call home and Shotty would be in his house and he's like, "Yo, why you in my house and I'm not home?" Long story short, his woman, his girl that he was with since they were like 14 years old. They're about the same age, right? Since they were like 14, his first little love turned into his baby mama. As they got older and all this, they have a child together. He's blowing up. He's making money. He's now able to afford a nice mansion and everything. And these guys are in his house while he's not home. He had his mom living at the house. His mom moved out because his mom said Shadi is downstairs smoking in the living room and all this. And he was like, "What? Who? What's Shadi doing at my house? Why is he smoking in my house? But why is he at my house and I'm not home?" You could imagine my brethren being in my house, chilling out while I'm at work on the road. I took a contract. I'm in Texas. He's in my house in Florida. So he said that was the first part. Then he realized, basically he told everything, like how they set him up, they kidnapped him. He's looking in the face of the person that's kidnapping him. He's like, I know you. Like, come on, please. You don't have to do this. You know, they boom, bam, bam, beat him up some more, throw him in a car, take him somewhere. He talked about how he escaped. He talked about how he found out that his baby moms was actually really sleeping with. Dude said he beat the brakes off of her. And he was like, I'm not going to lie. I know people are going to say I'm a woman beater and abuser or whatever, but I just wanted her to tell the truth. So I invite her out, right? And I tell her, um, come fly out to me, stay with me in Greece, because they just raided my house in the States, which means they coming to get me, and I'm not ready to go in. So come on, Sarah, bring the baby and come. So she came. But by this time, he already knew because he asked Shotty, let me use your phone real quick. Because the girls that you wanted to hook up with, they left and they not answering my phone. So let me see if I call from your phone. He said when he did that, he called, put it on speaker so Shotty could hear it, and then he walked into another room. As soon as he walked into another room, he said I did that just so he could think that's I was talking to them, but I really wanted to search the phone. So he goes, I'll be back, and he walks into another room. While he was in there, he goes searching the phone, and he sees all the text messages between Shotty and his wife, his baby mama, his girl, his woman at his house, right? Where you at? I miss you. Come through. Where's Daniel? Daniel is him. We're trying to know his whereabouts so she and him could get it in. He said when it was really confirmed when the feds told him, listen, we have wiretaps on you. We have wiretaps on the guys around you. Your baby mom's, by the way, she's effing your manager slash right hand man. We have extensive proof of that. He was like, damn, it hurt. So there was no loyalty in it. And then he found out how much money they were stealing from him. So he told on everybody. He was like, at this point, when the feds approached me, he was like, I was snitch ready. I was ready to tell all. So he basically told all. And that's how he ended up telling on them. He said if everybody was loyal to him and there was nothing that the feds could bring up to show him that his camp was solid, he would have stayed solid. He would have went down and ate his time and dealt with it, fight the case. But when they showed him extensively, like some of them were plotting to like not rob him, to kill him. They were plotting to kill him. That time when they kidnapped him, they actually were plotting to kill him. The boy says he got away, like when they got him out the car at the location where they were going to shoot him at. He said he's begging, and for some reason he just turned because he said, I know they're going to kill me and leave me out here. So he turned, and while he was begging, he just took off and just started running down the middle of the street. And he was like, I'm running down the middle of the street, right? I'm screaming, I'm running down the middle of the street. I see like a Uber driver in a corner, like they just dropped somebody off. I pull the door in the back seat and dive in. I'm like, God, please, if I pull the door, what if I pull the door and it stuck? He pulls the door, jumps in, and lays down on the back seat. And they're running around looking for him. And he's begging the Uber driver. He's like, please, because the Uber driver is like, get the fuck out, get out. And he's like, please, listen. If you let me out, they're going to kill me. You see that car? If you let me out, they're going to kill me. Please, I need you to go left at this light right here and go right down this street. And then he said he breathed a sigh of relief. And then, of course, the feds came in. Feds were like, you ready? You ready for our protection? You ready to talk? He was like, fuck yeah, I'm snitch ready. I'm telling everything on everybody. So that's to drag you up to where we're at, up to speed, right? So he went to court. He was facing all kinds of charges. He was giving orders for people to commit murder. He was the money behind the gang. And he's commanding 50, 150, $250,000 per performance. So he's making a lot of money, right? He says at this point, he's giving the feds way more than they asked for. The federal agent said to him, so his RICO charges, but Okay, so he ordered a couple of people killed, but then he went and he told the feds who he ordered to do the shooting. And the person did do the shooting but missed who they were supposed to kill. They got time for that, but he got to come out. I remember an interview where the federal agent, they asked him, so is 6ix9ine talking? Is he telling on everybody? And the federal agent said it like this. He says, well, you know how these deals go, right? The more you tell us is the more we'll give you. So we told him that the more he can give us is the more we'll take off his time. I guess he doesn't want to do any time at all because he's given us people that we didn't even have on our radar. He just keeps talking. And we're thankful for it because these people are somehow connected to the people who we were looking into. But he's given us people that we had no clue that they were involved in stuff. So he told and told and told. He told so much, he told his way to freedom. He was facing 47 years. Go look it up. 47 years minimum is what he was facing. At 20 something years old, young 20 something years old, he was facing 47 years minimum and the max of a life sentence. Boy, I would have been singing like Aretha Franklin, Anita Baker, Whitney Houston. I would have been singing like that caged bird that wants to be free. I would have been singing. I wouldn't have been singing. I would have been singing. I would have been, Lord, let me tell you. He lived on 33rd and Martin Luther, apartment 4C, Jesus. His mama name is Delcita Elore. I know his brother too. Hallelujah. I'd have been telling, especially for what they did to him. You in my house, you sleeping with my woman, and y'all laughing with me when I come home from tour. You in my bed. You in my bed, and you laughing with me. And you and her having a full-blown relationship. It wasn't even like Sarah gave him some. His girl told him that, I'm gonna do a full confession and stuff. He was like, Sarah, I tricked her, right? He said I tricked her because I wanted her to think that we were still gonna be together after she confessed. So I said, Sarah, listen, the feds are on us, right? I need you to tell me everything so you don't get caught up in stuff. Anything you tell me, I can find a way to cover it to make sure you're okay because it's about you and the baby. So the interviewer asked him, were you serious? Like, were you going to continue your relationship with her? He goes, hell no. I just wanted her to talk. I wanted a real confession. I was so in love with her, man, that even after the feds told me that they have wiretaps, even after all the stuff I saw in Shadi's phone, I still kept telling myself, nah, it's all made up. She didn't really do nothing. Show you how bad it was. I even started telling myself that, okay, maybe it was one time and it was a mistake. Power of the pum pum, I guess, or power of your emotions. But she did her full confession. And, he wanted to know how many times they did it. And she lost count of how many times they did it. She said a lot, just a lot. I lost count a lot of times. So Shadi done smashed your baby moms out of frame more times than she can remember in your own house, in his house. He asked her, where was this all happening at? She said, in our house, in his house, in the car, had her everywhere. Damn. He got the full confession out of her. And that was it. He didn't deal with her anymore like that. So yeah, I would have told too. Now, based on him telling, the streets don't see it like that because the streets have street codes, gang codes. Remember I told y'all, I say I cover street stories and gang stories, right? But I understand street politics. And because I'm not a street guy, I'm a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen that believes in self-defense. I am not a street guy. I'm not carrying around no gun that I have to fire it and then throw it away before the police come. So if me and you have a shootout, I'm shooting, moving, and communicating and putting all my training to work, and we gonna turn that place into a battlefield. And I'm doing my whole 3 to 5 second rushes and everything I was trained to do, and I don't have to throw away my gun because it's licensed to me. Street life is different. You never, ever talk to law enforcement. That's street life. You get it in blood. You handle it in the streets. So even if I found out that my mans and them was smashing my baby moms, they were in my house, wiping this teely weely in my towels, my face towels. I come home and I'm wiping teely scent all over me. I'm heated. I still can't get revengeful enough to be like, I'm gonna use the feds to bring you down. That's a violation. Jane Anders says, Scourge, full stop. That's what happened, though. That's what happened. Y'all be letting that strange man hit or that side man hit. He trying to hurry up before your husband come home. He washed it off in your face basin real quick. He ain't taking no shower. He washed it off in your face basin. He dry it off in your face towels. He put the towel back neatly. Out of there. That's hurtful. But in the street code, which he violated, and he violated a lot of people, and they got some serious time. I ain't talking about no 2 years and 5 years. This man that 6ix9ine talked on that might as well have gotten life in prison. 25 years, 40 years. So the streets want him. And one thing I know about the streets is, well, two things. One, all these gangs are connected because they do business together. It's the underworld. And two, the streets never forget, right? So there he was, apparently, in Florida somewhere at a LA Fitness, which he thinks was a safe move. And I've seen him lately on these videos talking about the streets are weak. The streets is weak. Half of these guys, they don't even live what they say they about. I live what I say I'm about. I live what I say I'm about. I'm out here. I'm out here with no security. Okay. I think nobody touched them before because people are kind of like, is he a federal agent? Because there's no way you go from facing 47 years at a minimum to walking out, and everybody you told on got football numbers, double digits for time. They probably thought, nah, he's still under surveillance, so we're gonna do our distance from him. But you know what's funny? The gym is just like prison, right? Just like jail, just like prison. In jail and in prison, there's no shower, there's no cameras in the shower. Ask anybody who's been locked up or did some time. That's where all the fighting happens. You want to shoot me a fair one? You want to fight? We gonna fight this out? Meet me in the back. In the back is where the shower is at, and there ain't no cameras around there. And we gonna beat the brakes off each other. And then as long as you don't tell who bust your face up like that, you good. Win or lose, you gain respect in here. That's how it goes. That's prison politics. They did him the same way at the gym. They couldn't catch him in the common areas because LA Fitness, as well as any other gym in the US, probably got about 100 cameras in the regular workout area for liability purposes, for insurance purposes, right? So nobody can come in there and drop weights on themselves and then say, oh, the weights fell apart and it crushed my arm. I need $1 million. They'll have you on camera, but they can't have cameras in the bathroom. So they followed him into the bathroom. And I have the video, and I can't show the video here on YouTube, but they beat the brakes off him. Now, first time I seen him, when he got up and he was like hurrying up to get out, the same people that were beating him was like, hey, yo, I'm a fan. I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of yours, though. I'm still a fan. But after, and I thought this is acting because he does a lot of stuff for attention. But after looking at it, the video is on Twitter. For those of y'all who want to see the full video, it's on Twitter. Okay? They beat the brakes off that boy. His face is messed up. His I think he has a broken rib and, bruised up in other places and stuff. But I've seen them kicking him in the ribs and punching him in the head and dragging him by his hair and his neck on the floor. He just basically stayed on the floor and covered up his face because he didn't want face shots. He didn't want people kick your eye out or something like that. Like, beat me up, but I don't want you to leave me blind or anything like that. So he was just trying to defend himself. The streets don't forget, though. His lawyer said, get this. His lawyer said, in light of this attack, he will now contact the federal agents to try to get added security. You don't contact federal agents to get security unless you are working with the feds. So if anybody out there is concerned if he is or not, that's your go-to. That's your teller. He still works with the feds. And I said this before. I said 6ix9ine is a plant. He is a plant inside the industry to weed out. His part of his agreement is probably to continue to bait people and get them to fall into the trap to where they end up in prison. Yeah, because somebody is gonna crash out and say, I don't give a damn, I don't care who's watching him. I'm gonna try to take him out, and then they'll be under surveillance, right? And then they'll end up in prison, attempted murder, whatever the case may be. I'm going to now contact the feds to try to get some added security for him based on what just happened. Based on what he was just on social media showing a safe in his house that had like $1 million cash in it. So it's not like he can't afford security if the money is real. It's not like he can't afford security, but somewhere in his mind he thinks the streets are soft and he's going to be out here. And sometimes he's going to be out here without security because he's not afraid of anybody. Well, right. Daniel Hernandez. Rough out here. I'm not trying to live any of that kind of life, man, at all. The other thing that we want to talk about this morning is Donald Trump. Shout out to 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine laughed at Lil Reese when they beat the brakes off Lil Reese and Lil Reese poo-pooed on himself. Now Lil Reese get to laugh at him. Donald Trump. Y'all see what's going on with Donald Trump? Yeah, 6ix9ine think he's untouchable, but like I said, the streets never forget, and everybody is touchable. After snitching, why no witness protection or no snitching protection? You know what, Dorothy T? He said, right? Cinnamon Toast Cinnamon says, did they beat him up in the sauna? Dang, it must have been hot. he was all over the floor. They beat him up. He was all over the floor. I heard they started beating him in the sauna, but he was all over the floor, by the sink, by the pissers, by the toilet. They offered him witness protection. He turned it down. First, he was in witness protection when he first came out. And I kid you not, he went out on his balcony of a house that they put him in, and a girl from across the way zoomed in and went live and said, yo, you gotta be kidding me. Look, my neighbor is 6ix9ine. Zooms in, and there he was on the balcony going and looking around, and it was 6ix9ine. And by the time she did that, people started pulling up to the location where he was at, and the feds had to move him again. And then he said, I don't want no witness protection because y'all can't protect me. They found me the first as soon as y'all let me out and claim I'm protected. They found me. So I'll get my own security. Plus, I have a rap career to run, and I can't do it from witness protection. So I want to be free. That's his choice. He went free. And now this. Now he's getting beat. The truth is, he's somebody's puppet. He makes a lot of money, but it's not independent. Somebody is putting money behind him to make more money. right? So he got, as long as he keeps making them money, as long as he keeps being reckless, as long as he keeps saying the things that he says, as long as he keeps attracting that kind of energy to him, the controversy will be there. He'll continue to book shows. He'll continue to get that money for whatever sponsorship and collaborations, and he'll continue to have money. The money will come, but the streets don't forget. So he'll always be on the list, on the hit list, right? He was locking his own words. Lady Kingsman here, Kings Bay, Canada, Francis Untouchable, father and son, manners and respect. Father and son in here. Branches, I drive you last weekend. Gail with the full. Okay, so let's talk about Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is currently waiting for a grand jury to decide. Do y'all think that Donald Trump is gonna get arrested? Because New York City right now is bracing. Where my New Yorkers at? What is it looking like in your part of town? Because as far as this goes, news this morning says New York City is bracing for protest because LA, Dorothy T says lock him up. Banches says hell no, he not doing no time for lockup. That's what I say. I think this is quiet. Lulu Ridges says it's quiet. King Big says Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn in the house? Former President Donald Trump, he's in Florida right now. He's waiting for the possibility of criminal charges in New York. Last week, he put out a warning, said that he was going to be arrested by Tuesday. One of the federal agents that are on that released a statement that said there's no way he would have known unless somebody told him something from the inside, but they might have told him wrong information. He was convinced that it was right information, so he went on some platform that I never heard of before where his followers follow him, and he told them to rise up and protest his arrest when it happens, when it comes. You know, the funny thing is that thing that happened at the Capitol. Y'all remember when they took over the Capitol? That was the crowd that was coming from Donald Trump's speech. And Donald Trump was the one that said, you're going to let them take over your country like this? You're going to let them take your country away from you? Go down there and take it back. Meet me over there. And he told them to meet him at the Capitol. That's how the crowd went from that gathering to the Capitol and stormed the Capitol. And they didn't charge Trump with inciting a riot. After that, I was like, nah, anything they say about him is just to drum up some publicity, news media stuff, distract people. But he's actually firmly a part of whatever agenda they got going on. You know, like somebody they give you to hate, that man not doing a day in no prison. He's not. I'll be very surprised if he actually gets arrested. Very. I'll be shocked if he gets arrested. Trump probably got a lot of secret for a lot of people too. Don't forget who Donald Trump is or has always been. Before he was this politician, he was that guy behind the scenes that had we call all the lickies and chewies. Yeah. When we going out to the field in the army, you're gonna be in the field for 60 days, 90 days. You know, you want to make sure you have your lickies and chewies. Your lickies and chewies are the little things you can't do without that'll sustain you. So, you know, I used to have my beef jerkies and I used to have my lickies and chewies, my candies and whatnot, that type of stuff. Other people would have their dips and chews because you can't smoke out there. We're moving tactically. Uh, he had exclusive parties, loose women for the who's of who's. And what's of what's? He has people's secrets. I don't know if y'all ever seen this movie. I forgot what the name of the movie was, but they had like they used to have these mask parties, and then your mask could come off, and inside of the party it would be like all the senators, all the high-ranking politicians, and all the big name CEOs and whatever. They would be in there, and they would be in there having orgies, and you'll be loads of cocaine on the table, and they're just snorting up lines and just acting crazy in there. And he had cameras in all the rooms. So he would record everybody and he would chop his videos up, label them. This is Bill Clinton, and he would store that. This is Obama, he would store that. This is Michelle Obama, he would store that. This is George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., anybody famous or anybody of power and status, he would save a clip. He would save a clip, catch them with an underage girl, purposely put an underage girl in there, video it. They don't know. They think they're safe. So when the doo-doo hits the fan later on in life, that's when they pick up and make that phone call. Hey, y'all better make sure I don't go in. Yeah. Remember that party we had in 2014? Yeah, the one at Martha's Vineyard. Yeah. Right, right. Remember the blonde that you were with? Okay, let's just say she was about 14. And let's just say video exists. Oh, you damn dog, you want hey. If I go in, everybody goes down. That type of stuff. They play that game. I don't know if Donald Trump plays that game, but I'm saying just know who he was before all this politics stuff. So I'm sure he has a lot of secret for a lot of people. Trump ain't going to no damn time. He ain't doing no time. But anyways, so it says meanwhile, so Donald Trump, former president, is in Florida. He's waiting for the possibility of criminal charges in New York City as the city braces for disruptions that could follow the indictment. They are deliberating right now as we speak. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, he was supposed to be arrested on Tuesday, like he told his people. Nothing happened. Republican contender in the 2024 presidential race are sizing up the impact a prosecution could have on a campaign in which Donald Trump is a leading contender. Remember, Donald Trump already made it known that he is running for president again, 2024. The New York grand jury investigating Trump, they're investigating him over some hush monies. This is letting you know what it's about, right? Because I know you're wondering, well, what could he possibly be going to jail for, prison for? This is over some hush monies that were given as payments to a porn star and another woman. Apparently, he slept with them and then paid them off to stay silent. And the money that was used to pay them off is Stormy Daniels, but it's not Stormy alone. There's another one. There's another one. Um, yeah. So it's two women, and it's some monies that was given to them basically, and they were paid off. Now the person who paid them off, who delivered the money, that person said they did. He authorized them to do it, and they did do it. But now he is saying they're lying. These are people that used to work with him, right? Close. So he's now saying that they're lying. I don't even know them like that. I don't even know you like that. Why are you making up all this lie about me? When did I tell you to pay her that? So that's where they're at with it. Now we should find out today, tomorrow, sometime soon, what happens. I tell you what, if they hand down a guilty verdict or if they hand down a if they decide to charge him and he needs to be arrested, it's going to be very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Because you know his followers, his followers, Donald Trump's followers, I said this before, he can do no wrong. I think the only way that they would, I gotta be careful how I say this, but I think the only way how they would actually say, damn, maybe we shouldn't follow him, they would probably have to see him in front of them, and he would have to do something like slaughter a child or something. But he does no wrong for them, and they will come out. They'll come out. They'll come out bearing arms. They'll come out making a whole lot of noise. The same way they stormed the Capitol, because they realized that a lot of people that stormed the Capitol got away with it, or they got very little time, like a slap on the wrist. So they'll be out. They'll be out again. Y'all who live there, like in New York, be careful. Not only that, the rest of you around the country, be careful. Because when these things happen, usually you have some people that like to blame it on some other people just because we're there. I just feel like violating an African American today because they found my president guilty. No, I have nothing to do with me. I I don't have nothing to do with your president. They don't care. They just want to place the anger somewhere, and they've been wanting to do something to you anyways. So y'all be careful out there. That's a warning, right? That's a warning. Can't bear arms like that in New York. Yeah, I've seen them in New York show up with guns. And I know New York gun laws are strict, but I've seen them show up with guns. Y'all know what the gun laws are. Maybe it's you can have for hunting, so they'll show up with only rifles that are used for hunting or something. Like I was at the beach and I saw a guy on the beach with a gun on his hip out in the open carry. And I'm like, I'm in Florida. We don't have open carry. It helps to know the law. Get this. You can open carry in Florida as long as you're fishing or hunting actively. So if you're at the beach, you have your fishing rod, it's planted, your reels cast out to sea, you can have your gun open on your hip. Because I'm walking on the beach and I seen it and I was like, okay, this looks weird. And I saw a lot of other people looking at him and I'm like, what if he just starts shooting? Let me go look this up. And I went. At first, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm calling the police before any shooting starts because my kids are here. And then something said, go look it up real quick. And I went and I looked it up real quick. And there it was. Not only that, it was a guy who is former military, who has a YouTube channel, and he tries the law enforcement people all the time. That's just his job. Trying law enforcement to see if they know the law. So he has a AR-15 strapped to him and he's pulling all his fishing stuff down the beach. Mind you, it doesn't look too safe because he's black. I'm saying. So he gets approached by two white cops. And they're like, hey man, what are you doing with that? And he goes, oh, this? Oh, and it's loaded too. I'm like, oh my God. He goes, and it's loaded too. They go, okay, what you I'm assuming you have papers for it. You know, they didn't even know how to talk to him. They're like, I'm assuming you have your papers for it, right? This is registered to you. It's your gun. Do you have a permit to carry all this? He goes, yeah, I have my permit right here. Want me to reach for it? And they goes, yeah, but hold on for a minute. Why would you need an AR-15 on the beach? And he starts explaining the gun law says you could have your gun and you could open carry it on the beach. It doesn't say what size gun you could have. So I choose to go with my AR today, right? I might use my small firearm another day. Emotep University TV, big up yourself. Thank you. And I appreciate you, family. I'm nervous because I'm seeing a black man on the beach with an AR-15. But I noticed he had all his fishing stuff with him in a trolley, and he's pulling a trolley. So he starts asking the police officer, he says, what do you want me to do? Because you guys are surrounding me. One of them starts calling for backup. More police coming. He goes, okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to hand you my gun, turn around, lay down, cross my hands? You're going to handcuff me? Am I being detained? Am I free to go? What are you doing? He's pushing the button, right? The police officer is stuck because he didn't know. And then he starts reading the law, citing it out of his mind to the police officer. And I was like, oh, that's what the guy was doing at the beach when I saw him earlier. So he was well within his rights. So if I want to carry my gun to the beach, I'm good. But I know now, right? You're permitted, Darren Brandon 305 says you're permitted to open carry that firearm while engaged in fishing, campaigning, or lawful hunting, or going to or returning from a fishing, campaigning, or lawful hunting. Exactly. And the police didn't know this. It's good to know the law. Remember I told y'all I went to that gun class and they asked me if your neighbor came across the lawn and they were being aggressive and your neighbor was saying, I'm gonna fucking kill you and all this, and would you pull in fire or not? And I said, yes. He's on my lawn. He's approaching me as if he's about to do something to me. And the instructor said, you'll be going to prison. I said, why? He's on my lawn. He came up aggressively like he was about to do something to me. He said, did he have a weapon in his hand? No. He was going to do something to you with what? With words? So you just shot the man and possibly killed him for words? Someone trespassing on your grass is not enough for you to shoot them. So what would have been your basis for taking his life? Right? So it's important to know the law when you're carrying guns. I got a new one. I got a beautiful one too. I got one now that has an 85 round drum on it, which I'll show off one of these days. So I got to break them down and clean them and oil them properly and take them to the range and all that other stuff. You can use excessive force to protect your property. Trespassing, LAA says. Boy, LA, you got to be careful with that though. You can't shoot nobody for walking on your grass. And if your neighbor comes across the grass, if your neighbor let me show you this new one. So here's the drum. This is a new one. If your neighbor walks across your grass, you can't shoot your neighbor for walking across your grass. I told y'all this before. You can't shoot your neighbor. This is a 65 round drum though. If you can't shoot your neighbor for walking across your grass, you can't shoot your neighbor for running through your backyard late night. You can't shoot anybody for you. The only time you can use that kind of force is it has to be proven in court that whatever was going to be done to you was going to leave you either dead or permanently maimed, like you were going to lose an eye or lose a limb possibly or whatever. So it's very hard when somebody comes up to you talking and you shoot, right? This is a 65 round drum right here. I love this one because this one is kind of like me. It says come out of the masses stand alone like a lion. See? And this baby right here, this one is new. I still got all the straps and stuff on it. And I got my drum right here. And the drum fits perfectly into it like that. Yeah. So I keep these around just in case. You know, and then I have a 30 round magazine that goes with it as well, light stuff. But I keep these around just in case, man. They need to be exercised though. They haven't been exercised properly. They need to be trained, zeroed to me, my specifications, and all that. When your weapon is zeroed, that means that you can just pick it up and fire from anywhere, and you'll probably be accurate because it's zeroed to you. You don't have to do much of anything with it. But anyhow, these gun laws are weird. These gun laws are weird. But back to the Donald Trump stuff, though. Trump probably got a lot of stuff on people, you know, and I don't think he's ever going to be arrested and be doing time anywhere for any of that. See? SouFLoTV says firepower. No, brother, I said self-defense. Pure Gosu asks if I voted for Trump. Let's just say I don't discuss politics or religion. There's no way, if I say I voted for Trump, there are going to be people that say, oh, you're a sellout, or you're stupid, or why did you vote for him for, or whatever. If I say I didn't vote for Trump, oh, you're dunce, you're a part of the machine, you drank the Kool-Aid, so there's no win. Your political choices should be like your salary. It should be like your salary. You don't just go around and tell everybody how much I make every year and all that. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hey, SouFLo.
Walk one, fam.
Yeah, that is the thing, you know.
Walk one.
And as me, you said, me sure me. Me tap the bird.
You tap the way I do.
Me tap the bird, can't stop. But me like it too. Me like it.
Yeah,
like
man.
It. Remind me of one of my brother, man, what me have a Jamaica there. Big top cap.
Same.
That man has gone everywhere in our house.
Yeah, man. I when I do the illegal gun thing neither. Kind
No,
of
no,
make
no,
no
no,
sense.
no, no, no,
You know?
No.
Make no
I
sense.
grew up away. I grew up in a garage, but my half brother in a law enforcement.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, make me
And
hear.
them man, the first step I got one shoot in the pitch. And them thing there. So from really cool, we know say, oh, deal with the thing legal, but at the time we grew up in that garage, so you know that. But
Yeah.
But we live a foreign now and we go down thing. But me like what I see a while ago, man, that me I call up to tell her, bro.
All right, bro. See?
Go and save up yourself, yeah.
All right, manners here.
Yeah, man.
All right. Yeah. I'm a big advocate for self-protection. I'm a big advocate for protecting your family. I'm a big advocate for arms, for being armed. I love the gun laws here. It allows you to protect yourself. The part of Florida that I live in, don't nothing much happen here. Domestic issues between family members, that's about it. Ain't nobody trying to I literally accidentally almost always leave my doors. Of course we have cameras and all that, but I literally leave my doors and nobody's even trying to open your door to come in. And I've lived in other places where they came in even with my doors and windows locked. So I've been robbed before, my house been broken into before. So I'm kind of leery, right? But where I'm at now, nothing happens here. Why? Because pretty much everybody here is packing. And if somebody catch you coming through their window or uninvited through their door, you're going to eat it. I don't know if y'all saw the video. where the guy was driving on I-95, which is a popular highway here. This is our main highway, anyways. He was driving on I-95, and another guy pull up and claimed that he bad drove him or something. So he started signaling like he was gonna shoot after him, and then he picked up a gun. And as soon as dude saw the gun, he hit the brakes on the highway. They're doing like 70, 80. He hit the brakes and the car went forward past him, and he pulled out his gun and started shooting through his own windshield. Yeah, it's a gun-friendly state. You can protect yourself. Plus, Florida has the stand your ground laws, where stand your ground is very dangerous. So you really leave people alone, because stand your ground allows people to say, I feared for my life, and that's about it. I don't have to really get into no details. That person made me feel like I was in fear of my life. I stood my ground. Arms, arms. Arms are not guns or firearms. Them I play with the semantics. I normally bear arms. We don't carry no gun, firearm, or pistol. Trini L. Bay. Trini L. Bay, what that mean? Arms. Arms are not guns or firearms. Them I play with the semantics. I normally bear arms. We don't carry no gun, firearm, or pistol. Okay. So the proper thing to say then is that you're bearing arms, right? Yo, Rude Boy Carl says this sound like Andrew Holness dream. Sleep with the doors open. Yeah, man. Don't get it wrong though. I'm not trying to sleep with no door open, because I don't ever think that anywhere is safe. The most messed up things happen in places where you think you're safe. And then you hear your neighbors saying, "Oh my God, stuff like this never happens around here. This is just shocking." I don't want to be that victim. So even in a place where it's really, really safe, I still act like it's not safe. I still guard up. I'm still alert. I still pay attention. Plus, I don't know what the military did to me, but I'm the type of person to drive away from my house, right? And I'll do a U-turn and go back and double check my doors. Did I leave the front door open? Maybe I went through the front door earlier, but came back in through the side door. And when I left through the garage. So I forgot to lock the front door. U-turn, go back to the house. Go back to the house and check and double check, because ain't nowhere ever safe. Now, one more on the gun thing, then we move on to our last topic for the morning. And the gun thing is this: especially women out there, y'all don't have to fear a gun, okay? Go get you some training. I don't know about y'all in New York and your weird gun laws in New York, but if you're in the South, get you some gun training and get comfortable with one. They have them in all different sizes. You don't have to get no big stuff like this. They have them so tiny you could fit it in the palm of your hand. It looks like something that if you shot somebody with it, they probably thought they got bit by a mosquito or something. Like, ow, you play too much. Like, what? So, and you can start there and work your way up to something you feel comfortable with. But just check into any gun range or check into any gun shop or anywhere guns are sold in the South and ask them, look, I never had a gun before. I wouldn't even know where to start, but I want to own one just to protect myself. They will teach you how to break it down, how to put it back together, how to store it. They will teach you the mannerisms when you carry one. Because if you carry one, some people carry the gun and they just wave it everywhere like this. Your gun's pointing at everybody's head and all that. They'll teach you all that stuff. They'll train you with all that stuff. But don't be afraid. I hate seeing women cry victim when you're in a position to protect yourself. And I love seeing when a woman actually exercises that power and protects herself. So go get you one and put yourself in a position where you're able to help to protect you, right? I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna protect, but I need you to help to protect too. With that said, The last one for this morning was I wanted to talk about drama in the house. So, finance minister, this is a Jamaican a bit. This ain't the last one. The last one is going to be an update to the Slickiana case. I'm just going to run through this one really quick. Uh, the finance minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, yesterday in House of Parliament, they were having some kind of something. I don't know if y'all saw it. It was a big ruckus. And he referred to Mark Golding, who is the opposition leader or leader of the People's National Party, as Massa. Yes, a Massa. Y'all know well, right? When we say Massa, what that means. And I thought that was a low blow. Now, I don't like any of those parties. I really wish Jamaica would get hip to the UIC and try something different for once. But to hear how low that man went when he called that man Massa, yes, and Massa Mark doesn't think so. Do you know that him calling him Massa is pretty much equal to Mark turning around and saying, "Yeah, but you're a pickaninny," or even calling him the N word. He called him Massa, and they laughed, calling a sitting minister Massa in house, in house. And everybody else, Nigel Clark, all of them, everybody else around him was there laughing like it was funny. And I'm like, yo, these people are grimy. Anyhow, I'll leave that to them. Y'all know where I stand with the politics in Jamaica already. I just want to see but that's how they do when politics time come, right? Everybody, all gloves are off. They play dirty because I guess they're getting ready to call elections sometime soon. Um, That's another thing that they should get rid of in Jamaica is when they're able to call elections when they feel like it, not a set time. Like in the US, two things we have in the US that they don't have in Jamaica. For one, a president can only serve 2 terms, and it can be 2 consecutive terms, or he can be president now and then the next election he loses it and he has one more time to run if he chooses to, and if he wins he'll serve again, but that's it for life. You will never be able to do that again. Not in Jamaica. In Jamaica, a prime minister can go forever, literally can go forever, be the one sole leader for like the next 50, 60 years. That right there is garbage. And another one is I don't know how they call the election. In the US, you have a set time for election, and it will be election at that time. In Jamaica, the ruling party has the right to just get up and just call election, like new election time. That's weird. That's weird. But all those things hurt the country, and then they over here with this massa stuff. And I'm sure Mark was probably saying in his mind, I got a couple of things I want to say to you, but I can't say them out here because. But you know what he was doing? This is the game they play, right? So Mark obviously looks like he is Caucasian. I call him dirty white boy because he looks like, and it's not offensively said. It's like my southern down in the dirt kind of. I roll around in the dirt. You know, I work in the oil fields. I wear boots. I'm in my 10-gallon hat. I'm kind of that's who Mark reminds me of. So to see Nigel now, a straight up black man, call him Massa, that invoked to the people who are listening and watching, it's like sending a message saying, oh, they want to put you in slavery. And this is gonna be your Massa. I don't know, all political rhetoric. So off of their politics stuff, because none of you ain't voting for UIC, and I don't care about the two that are fighting each other. Lawyers saying that Slickiana murder accused client is in danger. So the young man, I don't know if y'all remember Slickiana, the young lady who is a influencer that was found floating face down, barely clothed, and the young man that they brought into custody for her murder. This is the update. We're still waiting on an update for the Donnelly Donaldson case. Donnelly Donaldson, what's his name? Should be coming up shortly. Noel Maitland. This is not it. This is the Slickiana case. This is the same guy that the massage therapist or masseuse said when he came into the massage parlor, he came in like he owned the place and he grabbed her in her throat and he drank some liquor and spit it in her mouth and then he made her do things kind of thing. There's a lot of women that were giving complaints about this guy. I don't know if they're true. I don't want to soil up the man's reputation on lies. This is what women were giving their account of their encounter with him. They pretty much painted him like he was some sociopath on the loose in Jamaica, and because his people have connections or a little bit of money, he's been able to get away with this for quite some time. So, anyways, this is the update. Montego Bay, Jamaica, St. James, in making a strong case for her client to be released from custody because he just had a bail hearing yesterday. His bail was denied, but his attorney said in making a strong case for him to be released from custody, his attorney at law, Dion Myler Barrett, has suggested that Rashawn Patterson, which is his name, the man charged with the murder of popular social media influencer Aneka Slickiana Townsend, was in danger while he's in custody. You're charged for murder. You're in danger in custody. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. Prison on a bed of roses. Prison is not a bed of roses, my friend. And for those of y'all who don't remember her or know what she looks like, this is her, and that's him. So that was her, right? And that's him right there. A more updated picture of him. You know, the ladies say he was very handsome and he's very charming with his words. And I heard one woman was saying stuff like, "Trust me, if he was talking to you and you're a woman, you would probably fall for it too." Well, anyways, that's the Kiana. That's Anika Townsend. That's who he's accused of offing. So his attorney says that he's in danger. Now, Myler Barrett, who made the claim in the St. James court on Tuesday, also revealed that a medical report was presented to the Crown regarding the health condition of his client. You know, that's the typical thing in Jamaica, right? You either show up in a wheelchair or you say you have heart problems or you're about to doodle up yourself and you can't control your bowels or whatever. So she made a bail application on two grounds. One, humanitarian based, on what she said was a weakness of the Crown case. Now, since Mr. Patterson has been in custody, he was seen on numerous occasions, both at the Cornwall Regional Hospital and at a private doctor who was told to come to the cell to see him because of the condition that he was in. Adding to the melody, in the fact that he is in danger in custody, and this is because Melody, just recently, a report had to be made that the porridge was found to contain pieces of glass. In other words, somebody was trying to kill him behind bars and they grind up glass and put the glass in his porridge. This discovery was made after he took a few sips of his porridge. However, the judge, in arguing against the bail, told the court that, well, the Crown, in arguing against the bail, told the court that, among other reasons, that Patterson is a flight risk and that based on his history, if given bail, he may not show up for court because he had another case in court similar to the Aneka Townsend case, and he was supposed to show up and he didn't. And then that happened to her. So this is not his only case like this, right? The Crown is referring to a dialogue that the police had with Patterson in which he was advised to turn himself into the police with his lawyers on another charge, but he had failed to do so. He was just out here living. And that's what people were talking about in Jamaica. The girls them was saying like, we see him all the time. We know the police see him all the time. But he just walk around like he doesn't have any charges. He don't have no warrants. He doesn't have to turn himself into anybody. So and that made them fearful of him. Wow, a person with this much power. Police says turn yourself in by this time on kidnapping, murder, rape charges, and you just walk around like nothing and you walk right past them, and none of them are trying to take you in. I'm scared of him. So the Crown told Justice Andrea Thomas that Patterson has another case in court in the parish of St. Andrew, and that case had to do with an alleged abduction of a woman in 2018. Patterson was also denied bail in that matter. The Crown also claimed that following a Q&A question and answer session, Patterson, in the presence of two lawyers, returned and confessed to the killing, claiming, "Me did afraid I rose because him a want ex-soldier, so me a talk up now." I don't know what that means. "Me did afraid I rose because him a want ex-soldier, so me a talk up now." Was that the case where the young lady was there was a young lady and her lover, her man, they went out for a walk, and it is said that Patterson and a few friends drove up, saw the couple walking, grabbed the woman, put her in the car, grabbed the man, beat him up, put him in the trunk, and drove off. The guy jumped out of the car, somehow got the trunk loose, jumped out of the car, and hit his head so hard because they were speeding, and he died when he jumped out of the car. She was taken to some remote location where she was raped, her throat was slashed, and she was left for dead. However, a passerby found her, saw her, took her to get medical help. She survived. She not only survived, she made a recovery. She pointed him out as the person, and they still let that boy go. Gave him bail on that case. And when they gave him bail on that case, she disappeared. She has never been seen or heard from since. Nobody talks about that. She's never been seen or heard from since. So that case was thrown out because the man is dead. He can't talk. And the woman who the stuff happened to, no one knows where she's at. This is why people feared him. Okay. And on top of that, there was this other case of a similar pattern, a woman kidnapped, sexually assaulted. I won't put the sexually assaulted in there because in this writing it just says kidnapped, so I'm gonna go off the kidnap alone. There are other articles that says kidnapped and sexually assaulted. Same ammo as the first one. This is the one where he was supposed to turn himself in, but he didn't. And he was seen walking around Jamaica, at dining at popular restaurants like he was with Slickiana. Everybody saw him. So people feared him. They thought his family's money was at work. The Crown also claimed that following the Q&A, Patterson, in the presence of two lawyers, returned and confessed to the killings, claiming, "Me did afraid I rose because him is an ex-soldier, so me I talk up now." He was making reference to Rohan Early B. Rose, who is a co-accused in the case. Rose, who is on $500,000 bail, will go on trial on April 26th. He is charged with misprision of felony. This means he's accused of knowing about the matter but failing to notify the authorities. Now, this is in the Slickiana case. This is the security guard. This is the security guard that said, "He told me that he did it." Why is he saying no? Me did afraid I rose because in my ex-security, so me I talk up now. He in my ex-soldier, so me I talk up now. Is he trying to say that Rose was the one that did it? That means this means he is accused of knowing about the matter but failing to notify the authorities. That's what misprison means. Misprison of felony. and he's currently out. He's on bail. But Myler Barrett, who is Patterson's new lawyer, said that her client denies making any confessions. So she is trying to take back the confession that he made. She also took issues with the section of the Crown's claim. I was taken by surprise when I heard these things being said here today, and so I will need the opportunity to talk with my client to establish under what circumstances did a Q&A happen. Could be finished. Can you leave a room and then turn back to allow the officers to write all of that and then he signed to it? She also took issue with claims made by the Crown that Patterson has the tendency to be very violent against women, claiming that he has no previous convictions of ever being violent against a woman. He has no convictions, but he sure as hell has run ins with the law. However, Justice Thomas, in denying the bail, did not agree with some of the claims that were made. She pointed to conflicting information that Patterson reportedly gave the police surrounding the whereabouts of Aneka Townsend prior to her body being found. In my view, the allegations of the Crown are serious enough and sufficient enough to form a view that if granted bail, the accused man will not return. At this time, bail is denied. Justice Thomas, before giving Patterson a September 21st court date return, now you know he goes back to court on the 21st of September. So he's going to be sitting in lockup. We're in March now. So he'll be in lockup April, May, June, July, August. Good. September. September comes, he'll return to court. That was satisfied by the police in a live video link that they will be able to take care of his medical conditions while he's in custody. So, no, we're not letting him out because he's sick and he needs medical help. We can take care of those medical issues right here while he's behind bars. This date was suggested by the Crown, who claimed that there are outstanding documents. Among the documents are DNA and post mortem reports. Townsend's scantily clad body was retrieved from the sea in Reading, St. James on October 21st, and on November 11th, the police stated that Townsend traveled from Kingston, Jamaica to Montego Bay, where she was picked up by Patterson at approximately 7:30 p.m. on October 20th. Now, during the evening, they visited a popular restaurant where many people saw them together in Hanover and a guest house after in St. James. If you go to visit a man on the other side of the island and you do two moves, one, you go out to eat at a nice spot. Two, you go to pretty much what's a hotel room, then that means man expecting pum pum, right? Some people are saying he was trying to get it and she wasn't trying to give it up. You know, she probably didn't want to be seen as that girl. I've seen girls on social media doing this. Oh, because you fly me out don't mean you're going to get some. Please don't be one of those. Because if a man flies you out, he's expecting some. Okay? Just know that. So don't get yourself into those kind of situations and then have some guy lock you in some hotel room and force his way upon you, and then you're crying, "Oh, he flew me all the way out to Miami and I didn't think it was gonna I thought we were just gonna be Netflixing and chilling." Don't be so naive. So she got caught in one of these situations, right? So at some point during the night, an argument reportedly developed between two of them. This is the first time meeting. Argument develops between the two of them. Patterson is accused of strangling Townsend and then disposing of her body. Patterson was named as a person of interest on October 22nd, and he was picked up at the guest house in Hanover by the police Area 1 operational team on November 2nd after missing at least two deadlines to turn himself in. As you know now, September 21st, he'll be back in court and he has no bail for now. That's the update to the Aneka Townsend. Denty D says the CMR situation. Me not touch upon the CMR situation. I'm not touching on it. I'm watching it from the sideline. I ain't touching on it. Pretty interesting. But let me just say this. I said that to wifey last night. I said, maybe come look on the girl, you know. Me look on the girl and me I say, I look at his wife and I look at the girl that I was like, maybe some guys cheat with somebody who is way worse than their wife, way worse off than their wife. Um, so it's like a deterrent. It's like I'm gonna cheat, but I'm not leaving, right? So I have to do it with somebody who's way worse. Because if you cheat with somebody that's better, you might leave. Then you have to go leave your kids and leave your wife and leave your home, bust up your happy home and break up your marriage and stuff. But you might be feeling frisky like you need something else. And you might cheat. Cause the girl no look, I mean, it ain't about the looks even, it's just about her mannerisms. I was wondering why she on social media so much. You like go hide yourself. Go hide yourself. And the way she that chew the gum, well, see tear, that sound. Hey, listen, my kids and my wife could tell you, I'm driving and my daughter in the back of the car, and my daughter did something with a gum. I don't know what she did. I heard I'm jamming brakes. That sound. Just just to have somebody true to me would like send me over the edge. He snapped for what? Because she was slapping her mouth like a pig. See how y'all with the phone? She was like, let me play the song. Let me play the song when did that sing to me. Sing one song to me, right? See there. I'm like, at that you go. I don't know, man. Yeah, like them soul hog. My grandfather raised pig, right? So my grandpa used to have them soul hog there when them and they feed them out the trough, like when they used to cut the tire, them the big bus tire, they cut them in half. So you have two feeding tray for the hog, and the hog them used to use them nose and just push up the food, and that's how she sounded to me. And I couldn't even watch what she was saying no more. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! I changed it, and I went away thinking at that. Hey man, like I said before though, it don't matter if them ugly, crippled, blind, big, fat, maga, kukum kum, pum pum. Long as the pum pum is there and it's functional, men will go there. And some man will risk it all to include their family, to include them finances, the hard-earned finances at that. It's not like you're multi-millionaire, stupid rich, and you can afford to see 10 grand there, see 2,000 more there, see. You barely make it, but you balling on a budget with a side chick. You balling on a budget with a side chick. Um, and your little bit to her is a lot because she know I'm nothing. It's just weird. It's weird. I'm watching it unfold. I'm watching it unfold. I saw they did they do a forgiveness letter? I heard wifey reading it last night. I read the forgiveness letter like him I beg her forgiveness or something. Me not get involved in other people them something here, man. Cause life is complicated. Relationships are complicated. And I'm not trying to tell no woman to leave her husband because he cheated. I'm not trying to tell no woman to leave her husband because he cheated. Because if that man is still upstanding, if that man is still loving, caring, protector, does the provision providing part. Yeah, mess up and do a little thing on the side, but you're gonna throw away your children's stability. Your children don't care. And your children, if they're small, they don't even know, right? So none of my kids are gonna care. Right now, Kai wouldn't care about who daddy go sleep with or who mommy give her something to. and why daddy mad. The only thing Kai would care about is where's my dad? Like, mommy, where's my dad? You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Milani. She'll be like, where's my dad? So you have to think about them something that's still like, but me not like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. I wish them all the best. Let me put it that way. I wish them all the best. In sickness and in health, rich and poor, better or for worse, till death do us part. Those are the vows. Live by. I'll see y'all later. Right here on Morning Thoughts tomorrow morning. I'll try to be a bit earlier. God bless you. Wanna walk good. Keep your tea lean on your pants, my youth. If you can't stomach the results off. You know, next thing you know, she go burn you back and then you can't take it because it's gonna be extra hurtful and all these things. Just don't open Pandora box in your life, you know? Don't. Tani, Tani, Tani V. Me a tan toddy. Me a tan toddy. Me gone. Me see you later. God bless. I'm out. Peace. Oh my gosh.